Happening now, what neighbors are saying after a Christmas Eve homicide on Madison's west side. And a UW-Madison graduate and legendary songwriter
buildings in Minneapolis
has died. We'll celebrate the career and life of Allie Willis. Plus, how local churches are making sure nobody is spending Christmas alone.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 10. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in. One person is dead after a homicide last night in the 900 block of Midvale Boulevard. Gabriela Becerra shares more details on the suspect and how neighbors are reacting.
Officials say the incident happened at 937 South Midvale Boulevard just after 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Madison police arrested Joseph Green on suspicion of first-degree intentional homicide. He was booked into the Dane County Jail early Wednesday morning, and the investigation is still open. Neighbors say on Christmas morning they were shocked to wake up to a crime that doesn't normally happen on a street like this one. Andrew Doyle came home to see crime scene tape and police officers in the yard next door.
I'm just really shocked.
Doyle said he didn't know his neighbors well.
Not too well, but you know, we saw them from time to time. I'd see him go by on his motorcycle sometimes, but that was about it. We didn't really talk much.
Down the street,
never bothered anybody, so I never, I just come and go. I go to work, I come home. And
Mildred Albino says she's lived in this neighborhood for more than 20 years.
Most of the people have been here for a really long time, so it's kind of surprising.
And she hasn't seen a crime like this one on her street.
I'm in shock because I can't believe that this happened here. Maybe a robbery, I don't know, but I still can't comprehend what happened. It's like 2 houses away from me. I just can't.
Officials say there is not a safety concern for the area. I'm Gabriela Becerra, News 3 Now.
Again, this is an open investigation, and we will continue to update our website at channel3000.com. Madison police also investigating an attempted homicide at a BP gas station late last night. Officers were sent to the station in the 4500 block of Verona Road just after 10 o'clock. Officials say video footage shows a shooting happened at the gas station. A victim was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Police say they were later released. Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to call Madison area Crime Stoppers. Approximately 240 people, including 100 children, are displaced after a fire in Minneapolis. City officials say those who were staying at the Drake Hotel in downtown are being sheltered by Metro Transit buses. The four-alarm fire started around 3 o'clock this morning. The three-story brick building was being used as an overflow shelter for families experiencing homelessness. A fire chief says families who were evacuated spent their early hours on Christmas Day standing outside in the cold, some in their pajamas and without shoes. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey called the fire heartbreaking.
of all the buildings in Minneapolis and of all the days in the year, this was the building and this was the day. And I can't emphasize enough how tragic this is.
Frey is calling on people throughout the city and state to help families displaced by the fire. Donations of hats, mittens, socks, and diapers were initially being accepted, but now the city is urging those who wish to help to make a monetary donation to the American Red Cross. Fire officials say they don't know what caused the fire yet, and 2 people were taken to a hospital but are expected to be okay. A woman and 2 young children are dead in Boston after they were found next to a parking garage at Northeastern University. Investigators are only calling it a death investigation and say they aren't sure yet of the relationship of the 3 victims.
This is a tragic situation, particularly when it involves children, as well as being on Christmas Day.
They believe the kids are under 5 years old based on their car seats found in a car on top of the garage that was towed away as evidence hours later. Tonight, a medical examiner is determining the cause of death as families are being notified. It was certainly not a white Christmas here in Madison. Let's turn it over to Dana Fulton with our first alert forecast. She's outside without a jacket at 10 o'clock at night.
Without a jacket, I know. I did wear my parka into work just in case, and I'm warm-blooded, but we had a very mild Christmas, guys. Temperature-wise, climbing to near record-breaking. This is the 6th day in a row that we've been over 40 degrees. We could have almost broke the record this afternoon. Very, very close. And we're expecting another very mild day. So 55, the official high for your Christmas. The record is 56 degrees. We were right there, well above average of 28. Looking ahead through the rest of the week, into the weekend and next week, we stay above average. Tomorrow, looking at another record-breaking day, and then the weekend will kind of cool us down heading into the end of 2019. We'll take a closer look at what is ahead with your weekend and our next chance for some rain in just a few minutes. Mark?
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Dana. The Badgers are on their way to Pasadena. The Wisconsin football team departed on buses from Camp Randall this morning. Paul Chryst squad flew out of the Dane County Regional Airport. They'll have 4 days in California before Wednesday's New Year's Day Rose Bowl game against Oregon. We'll have more on the Badgers' travel plans coming up in sports. More local news now. Members of our community are helping everyone get in the Christmas spirit today. The First United Methodist Church in Madison hosted its 37th annual meal, hosted by Reverend Dr. Mark Fowler and Susan Fowler. The meal was free and in celebration for Christmas by providing a chance for the homeless to have a meal. Organizers say more than 250 people came out this afternoon. And Brown says that the opportunities like this and meal are available in our community and believes everyone can learn a bit from each other on a holiday like today. Well, families come in all sizes and can have a different meaning for everyone. For one community, Christmas means welcoming in more than 300 people. Emily Burdett has more on how they're making sure that no one has to spend the holiday alone.
You want some stuffing?
As people head home for the holidays,
We got chicken, dressing, turkey, baked chicken, ham, all kinds of salad, all kinds of vegetables, corn, green beans, rolls. We have some of everything. You name it and we have it.
some don't have a place to go. But the Higher Ground Christian Center is changing that. They're opening their doors and hearts to the community.
I wanted to give myself because I love to see people smile. I love to smile, so I like to do things to make people smile.
Because for them, Christmas isn't about the presents.
It would be easy for us as a family to exchange gifts, but 2 years from now, you may not even remember what you were given. But an experience like this of doing a service for somebody else will help both them and us have an experience and a memory that'll last a lifetime.
It's about the people.
I show love and I get love back.
And the experiences you make together. But adding in a home-cooked meal doesn't hurt.
A lot of work because we do everything from scratch. I've been cooking since I was about 12 years old, and so I love cooking.
Thanks to community donations, the center is giving out some gifts.
The gifts are just epic. Because to me, giving love and a smile is the biggest gift and the greatest gift.
But above all, they're making sure no one has to spend Christmas alone because there's always enough holiday cheer to spread.
It made everything great because when people care about their community, they see that the world isn't as bad as a lot of people are making it seem out to be, that it is a lot of love, and that is the key, is we can show love and love is being shown back.
In Beloit, Emily Burdett, News 3 Now.
Love in the air. This was the Higher Grounds Center's second year hosting a Christmas dinner for the community. Around the state, the Salvation Army's Red Kettle Christmas donation fell short in Wausau. Organizers say it got to 80% of its $170,000 goal before the holiday campaign ended yesterday. The organization says it lacked volunteers this year and fewer people are carrying cash. The campaign dates back to more than 100 years and is the Salvation Army's biggest annual fundraiser. There was no lack of shortages in giving at the UW Hospital this year. The hospital says 28 people gave their kidneys to strangers in 2019, a big surge from previous years. UW Hospital had its first non-directed donor in 2003 and an average of just 4 until 2017. The National Kidney Registry says there were about 300 such donors nationwide this year. UW-Madison Journalism School graduate and songwriter Allie Willis has died. Willis was one of the music industry's most colorful and talented characters. Willis co-wrote September and other big hits for Earth, Wind & Fire. She also wrote the theme song for the Friends TV show. She never learned how to play music, but she wrote the soundtrack for the Beverly Hills Cop movie and the Broadway musical The Color Purple. Allie Willis returned to her alma mater last September to talk with students on the UW campus. She also appeared on Live at 4 with Charlotte DeLeste and myself, where she talked about her colorful life and spectacular song list. Willis's partner Prudence Fenton announced a passing in an Instagram post this morning saying, "Rest in Boogie Wonderland," another one of her big hits. She was also a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame. The Wisconsin Alumni Association released a statement on her passing. "We've lost an amazing alumna and true Badger. Her energy was boundless. We are so grateful that she shared her talents with the world." Allie Willis died yesterday at her home in California. She was 72, and we'll be right back.
2 days.
For first, fast, accurate weather updates, watch First Alert Weather.
Well, this time of year, finding time for yourself can be tricky, but the busier you are, the more important it can be to take a break. Madeline O'Neill tells us about a technique catching on with local medical professionals that could be a benefit to you as well.
Whether it's running experiments,
things go wrong and have to put out fires and just deadlines and lots of meetings.
or performing complex cancer surgery.
I'm thinking about that family and I'm thinking about that patient.
Days on the job in UW's surgery department fill up fast.
There are many things ongoing and many competing demands.
The newest prescription
And into your lungs.
is to slow down and make some space.
If you don't think you have time to do 20 minutes of meditation, that means you should do 40 minutes.
It's meditation as a sort of medication
And gently return your awareness to the breath.
for stress.
I've been doing it for about 4 years, and that was a life-changing experience.
Assistant Professor Matthew Brown usually does research, but one day a week he leads a short mindfulness meditation session for staff and faculty in the surgical department.
It just kind of changed the way that I look at things, and it increased the buffer I have for dealing with stresses in life.
Surgical Oncology Division Chief Sharon Weber gets her mindfulness practice from an app and takes it into the operating room.
Now, really literally outside the room, getting ready to walk in to start the operation, we'll be having, just trying to use some of the techniques from mindfulness to really just be able to set the agenda, have a vision, be calm.
Weber says mindfulness can make a difference, even in short bursts.
Most surgeons don't take a lunch break, but could you take 10 minutes during the middle of your day to just spend time in a wellness effort?
Especially when research suggests mindfulness-based practices have the potential to increase surgery residents' well-being and executive function.
Just as we have data around physician burnout leading to poor patient outcomes, it only makes sense that if you increase overall wellness with mindfulness practices, that will actually enhance patient outcomes as well.
Research shows benefits for non-medical professionals as well.
For this, my experience has been, it's worked for me.
It impacts, like, in my experience, one's entire world, both the work piece and the home piece.
The group meditation sessions leader says attendance varies, but more than a dozen faculty and staff are interested in this new program, and he's hoping to expand it as well. Meditation can also have a stigma associated with it that those we spoke with at the UW say is starting to go away as mindfulness practices become more mainstream. Well, this was the scene today in Italy at the Chamois Ski Resort, where people went skiing in spite of temperatures hitting 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Santa was seen giving treats to dogs while walking around the valley. Crowds were seen celebrating the holiday season. Not too many places to do that around here today with the temperatures we've been having. You can't make snow in this weather.
It's a little too warm. Now, one of my neighbors does have an ice skating rink set up, and now they weren't out skating, but it was still for, I don't know the mechanics of ice skating rinks, but I was very impressed. I was impressed.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. It's going to be a little too warm for that and skiing, though, for the next several days. The good news, though, even with this warm weather, travel conditions have been really in a
that is
great
the upside
place.
of this.
Yes, the roads have been able to stay pretty dry. Temperature-wise, we've been very mild. In fact, let's look at some travel possibilities. Overnight, if you're at home now and still have to make the drive back home, if you're out and about now and getting ready to make the drive on home for work on Thursday, things look okay overnight. For Thursday, we should have pretty decent travel conditions throughout Wisconsin. Friday, we also look pretty good. It's really not until Saturday that we start to have some showers and thunderstorms creep on in. So if you have any weekend travel plans, I will be celebrating Christmas with my family on Saturday, and that's right when the rain's starting to move on down into Illinois. So it's going to be a little bit of a mess. For tomorrow, plan on temperatures yet again climbing well above average. Like today, it'll be a great day to get outside. The weather does look like it's cooperating for your run, or if you're just trying to walk the dog or push the stroller. Morning, afternoon, and evening, it would be all good to get outside. Overnight lows tonight falling to the low 40s with a mostly cloudy sky. It's going to feel very mild for our overnight lows with some areas of fog possible heading into tomorrow morning. The dense fog, though, is going to stay north of the Dells, not so much of a threat around the Madison area. Temperature-wise for tomorrow, we are looking at breaking the record temperature, the daily high temperature record. It was set in 1936 at 50 degrees, and we're forecasting 52 for tomorrow afternoon. A mostly cloudy sky, very, very mild outside. Again, we should be at about 27 for afternoon highs right now, so 52 is just a little bit above the norm. That's thanks mostly to a southwest breeze, about 8 to 15 miles per hour, enough that you'll notice it. And it's just warmer air moving on in, so enjoy it while you can. Get the outdoor stuff done while you can, because the colder air certainly is going to arrive, though it's going to hold off at least through the weekend before we see temperatures drop too much. Our rain threat isn't until this weekend. Thursday, again, high temperatures in the lower 50s with a mostly cloudy sky. For Friday, variably cloudy, which means we do get a few pockets of sunshine in there. High temperatures will be in the lower 40s. For Saturday and Sunday, we have our next rain chance. It brings showers throughout the day on Saturday. Overnight lows into Sunday only dropping to the low 40s. So it'll stay rain overnight. Showers throughout the day on Sunday as well, but we cool down head into Monday morning. So that's when our temperatures dropping into the 20s will bring a little bit of a snow effect for us. Into next week, we're in the 30s for afternoon highs. That includes New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, we're in the 30s. For New Year's Eve, should be quiet and calm. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s when the ball drops around midnight. So it'll be a little cold at that time if you're out and about, but not too chilly. Of course, we've had much worse for New Year's Eve.
My neighbor hauled out the grill today.
Out the grill?
Yeah.
See, and I went on a run today, and that's when I saw the ice skating rink, and I could smell it. People were out grilling.
I know.
So jealous. Didn't get the invite.
Next year.
Yes.
As a small child, Jack Cohen had a hunch that he might play in the Rose Bowl someday. That story is coming up next in sports.
Randall around 11 o'clock this morning to head to California. Even A.J. Taylor is making the trip, functioning leg or not, scooting along to the buses, along with running back Garrett Groshek and quarterback Jack Cohn. Now, if you didn't know, Jack was actually going to play lacrosse in college and not football. One of his old coaches made a pretty bold but wise prediction when Jack was younger.
One of my old lacrosse coaches would always go to the Rose Bowl, and he used to tell me that one day he was going to come watch me play the Rose Bowl, and this was before we even knew football was going to be a thing, so pretty amazing.
By the way, that coach will be at the Rose Bowl to see Jack play in real life, in person. The Bucks, meanwhile, they're the best team in the NBA, but the Sixers aren't too far behind, especially when they play on their home court. Joel Embiid playing like the MVP earlier today, and the Bucks and Sixers throwing down on the NBA's Christmas Day showcase. We pick it up in the first quarter. Some work off of the bench. George Hill, he's been solid in the last few games. The pull-up 3 in transition. Bucks down 5. Hill with 15 points today. Wisconsin's own MVP showed up as well. Second quarter here, Bucks down by double digits, but Giannis fighting back. Check out this dunk. Whew. But Embiid making things hard for the Bucks. Later here, getting the pass from Ben Simmons. He's at the top of the key. Drops down a 26-foot 3. Embiid with 31 points, 11 rebounds. Bucks with their worst defensive performance of the season in the first half and didn't get much easier after that. This probably didn't help in the fourth quarter. Giannis gets raked across the face as he was going up for a shot. He actually ended up getting poked in the eye. He was okay, but he was mad, frustrated, and ended up getting the technical foul after going after the ref. He finished with 18 points, 14 rebounds. Still leads the NBA in double-doubles, but the Bucks lose tonight, 121-109. The Packers will close the season in Detroit on Sunday. The Lions leaving something to be desired this season with a 3-11-1 record. So a bit of a breeze compared to the ugly win, as Aaron Rodgers has been calling it this season, that they had against the Vikings on Monday Night Football. But those tough, gritty games like that one are really important for the Packers to play in because it'll be some good fine-tuning before the postseason gets underway.
These kind of games, these are playoff-style games. Obviously, we're both going to the playoffs. But to be back on top of the North after a couple years being down feels great. To win in this stadium, you know, where a couple years ago I was jeered leaving the field after breaking my collarbone, feels pretty good.
And finally tonight, part of the bowl game experience does include having some fun, of course. For LSU in Oklahoma, that meant checking out the Andretti Indoor Go-Kart facility. This looked really cool in Marietta, Georgia, ahead of the Peach Bowl in Atlanta on Saturday. And these, of course, are very competitive players, so it was, of course, a race, complete with a championship belt to the winner of it all. And we'll, of course, have our bowl game coverage starting this Saturday from Pasadena, California, with me and Kevin Lewis and myself, I should say. We'll be right back.
Mariah Carey's Christmas anthem, All I Want for Christmas Is You, is back on top after breaking the single-day global Spotify record with 10.8 million streams last year. Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran dethroned her this spring. Well, yesterday her song took back the throne. The Christmas classic amassed over 12 million streams last night, setting a new high for most Spotify streams in one day. Wham's Last Christmas and Ariana Grande's Santa Tell Me rounded out yesterday's top 3 on the streaming service. Sing along.
I'm bopping along.
Yeah, not really
that's all I
Mariah
got.
personally. Like, I can't sing like her, so probably.
Mariah's
Very few
pipes are
people can.
different. Yeah.
All right, so it's staying warm.
Staying very mild. Tomorrow we're looking at near record-breaking temps again, back to the low 50s for afternoon highs with mostly cloudy skies. Another chance for showers comes through this weekend, though it'll be some light rain. And for New Year's Eve, all looks calm and quiet next week.
Enjoy the rest of your Christmas holiday, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Have a good night.